So today we're going to play the Game of Life 2. Why the Game of Life 2? Because I don't own the Game of Life 1. I saw this being played and I thought it looked kind of adorable, and this was a game that would be simple enough for my wife to be able to play along. So we've actually played quite a bit of this one. Get back! Get back! So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. It's very bright and very colorful, and it's all about the roll of the dice. There's very little strategy or skill involved with the whole thing, and that makes it kind of easy for non-gamers to play along with me. And we're at the map, the Haunted Hills, so it's very spooky. We've got ghosts and goblins and little slimes and plants and everything running around. And I'm drinking very classy today, a nice little Moscato Rosé. It's so refreshing. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Oh, I get to go first. All right. Now, if you've never played the Game of Life, basically, you just go through the board, things happen to you, and you try to make some certain decisions. This is a little different from the original game. The original game basically took a look at how much money you had when your game was over, and that's about it. This one, it's all about life experiences. So as you see up in the corner, where it has my profile, you start off with $200,000. Wouldn't that be nice if everybody started off with $200,000? So, right next to that, you see the hearts, books, and a little piggy bank. Those are your life experiences. Hearts usually have to do with making friends and relationships. Books have to do with your education. And, of course, the piggy bank has to do with financial transactions. So, when we start, we can either go to college and pay $1,000 to go to college. $100,000, I'm sorry. $1,000 for college. What is this? Australia. Or you can just jump into a career and get going right away. Basically, college, you start off with less money, but you have a better availability. So I'm going to go to college first. So I pay my $100,000 out of the gate, and we spin it a wheel. Now, the one thing I've noticed in this game, it's way... I mean, there are bonuses for finishing the game early, but it's way better to roll low numbers. I mean, yeah, you're in kind of a race with everyone else, but the longer it takes you to get through life, the better off you'll be. Okay, so I got the first book. So since I have the most books, I have the book crown. Ooh, I can be a witch or a monster herder. I think I'm going to go with the witch. The taxes are more. The witch taxes are more, but the salary is much better. So I'm going to take my chances with being a witch. And then I get a lucky number on the wheel. So if anybody lands on that, they owe me like $50,000. If I land on it, I just get $50,000. All right, 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost got a payday, but... So now we have a couple of choices. Do we do an esports event where everybody rolls and the first player gets $200,000, or do I mow the neighbor's lawn for a chance at $80,000 or $20,000? I'm going to do the esports event. All right, so basically it's whoever rolls the highest. Oh, and I roll the 10. Hell yeah. But when you do these events, everybody gets a payday. It just depends on where they land. Oh, damn, that is a tasty beverage. I've been always trying to find out what kind of wine I prefer. There's so many different varieties. I am definitely a Moscato fan. Moscato is more of a white wine, but I ended up getting a bottle of Moscato Rosé, which is what I'm drinking now, which is why it's all pink and delightful, and the Moscato, which is just a white wine, and both of them are very delicious. A pumpkin farmer or trick-or-treater? See, we're in the haunted hills, so the jobs are, spooky as well. But since I went to college, I get to be a witch. And I get to live deliciously. So now that one, Alice paid $100,000 to get guitar lessons, and since that was an educational card, she gets two books. You see how it kind of goes? Basically, this is it. This is the entire game. Everybody takes their turn, and when the scarecrow or gardener. So when the computers are up, or the CPUs are playing, I'm just going to hit the A button to speed everything up, so it goes a little quicker. But if anybody ever has any questions, just feel free to ask and I'll explain it. Trick-or-treater gets $30,000 a year? My God. I never made that kind when I was trick-or-treating. And I like to think I was a professional trick-or-treater. Oh, is it my turn again? Alright. So now I have to pay Maddie $50,000 because I landed on her lucky star. Okay, we get an action spot. So I can take guitar lessons to get 2 books, or I can mow the neighbor's lawn for a chance at $80,000. I'm going to spend $100,000 and get 2 books. Because at the end of the game, they total up all of your little icons. And whoever has the most of any one item gets a major bonus, but you get points for every single one that you get. So, again, it's all about life experiences. I went to college and got guitar lessons, so that's why I have more books than anyone else. No one else went to college, so I got a book for going to college. And then there's these little life events where you stop and you can stay single, get married. There's pros and cons of both. Oh, I got my $50,000 back. Thank you, Alice. You can have anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Boy, I'm definitely need to buy more bottles of this stuff. Oh, look at that! We have a gay marriage. Isn't that sweet? And I like that this game is very inclusive to everybody. When you decide to get married, you can choose, and when you start up, you can be male, female, or gender non-specific. And yeah, it's a very representative game. And when you get married, you can actually choose, who you want to get married to. And what I like is when you have a kid, it doesn't necessarily just mean a kid. You can also choose pets, and I like that. Like if you didn't get married, you don't necessarily have, like that right there. There was a little binky. If you land on that, you get a kid, but you don't have to choose a human baby. You can choose a child. Oh, Alice is spending some money to go back to school and get a better job. What you gonna be, Alice? A puppeteer or a witch? No, you can't be a witch. That's right, you take that puppeteering job. We already have a witch on the staff. I think it's so cute that they're sitting next to the door. So if you throw a party, you get the hearts. That's like relationships, friendships and everything. So not a whole lot of hearts out there at the moment, but that's why Victor's got the crown. Victor's got 2 crowns. If the game were over right now, Victor'd be in pretty good shape. But again, the more spots you land on, the better off you'll be. Granted, you don't get as many paydays because you have to drive past the little payday spots. But still, the more spots you land on, the better off you'll be. So yeah, high rolls, this is one of the few games where high rolls are not preferable. Oh, I landed on my own lucky star, so I just get free money. Okay, do I want to get married or do I want to stay single? I'm going to get married. Alright, low numbers, low numbers, low numbers. Oh, I'll roll a 10. Okay, so then you get to choose your spouse. There's the, male, female, and gender non-specific, or non-binary, I guess is the appropriate term. But I want to marry a lady. And I like that all the other players are at the wedding. It's kind of, little touches like that are kind of cute. So now I get to spin for my wedding gift. Basically, it's the difference between 60 and 30,000. Ah, 60,000. Nice. I like that the wheel has the vat of goo underneath it, and the little octopus monster pops out every once in a while. Okay, low numbers. We need to start. There we go. 2. I will take a 2. Ooh, do I want to go to a concert or babysit for a chance for... I want to go to a concert. I just got married. Me and the wife want to go see... who do we want to see? Let's just say Rob Zombie. Why not? And now I am in the lead with hearts. So now I've got the heart crown. So now, yeah, if the game were over right now, I'd get the bonus for both of those. Boy, Victor has been getting a lot of cash from that wheel spin, it seems. Oh, Victor's going the investment route. Can he get a house? Sometimes you go the investment route and you don't land on anything. Oh, he did. He gets a house. All right, so now he gets to pick between 2 random properties. The haunted dorms or the greenhouse? Oh, he went for the greenhouse. He can't afford it, so he's going to have to go into some debt. I mean, she, Alice. And you do not want to be in debt. Because debt takes... If you don't get it paid off, and it's not easy to pay it off in this game, if you don't pay it off, you lose a lot of points at the end of the game. When you reach retirement, if you haven't paid off your debts, you lose like $100 for every loan that you have. And I think Alice just took out 4. What you gonna do, Victor? Victor's staying single. The bachelor life. Well, got a couple of paydays. A bowling duel with me. Oh, he rolled a 7. This is where you want the high numbers. Ah, damn it. I just lost $100,000 in a bowling match. Not exactly the way I thought I'd lose $100,000. Well, Maddie the pumpkin farmer is staying on the bachelor path as well. Thank you for the payday. Hey, Danger Ranger! How you doing this evening? Are you having some difficulties with your internet connection or something? Ah, it's too high. Oh, well, I'm sorry to say that. But at the very least, you can always check out the rebroadcast. Oh no, I landed on the taxes. Ah. High salary means high taxes. Yeah, because that's how life works. The rich people have to pay the most in taxes. Alice still has 0 money. 4 loans. Oh, almost landed on taxes. Oh my god, Alice is just going for all of the damn debt. I don't know if a puppeteer needs to be making that kind of putting that kind of a dent in the wallet there, Alice. Is that 5? Is that 5 loans that she's got? My God. I mean, it's okay to get that debt, but it's hard to pay it off because you have to land on the spot. And I've done it so few times, I don't remember exactly how it is. I think you have to land on maybe the house one. Oh, well, Danger Ranger, I'm sorry to hear that. Was it just a bad day at work, a job, or just a bad mental health day? I mean, moving forward is really all we can do, but some days that's a lot tougher to do than others. I like the jack-o'-lantern moon there. How has a pumpkin farmer got more money than me? Because I lost money in bowling, that's why. Whoops, I didn't spin it hard enough. Come on, low numbers, low numbers. That's not a low number. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm right in front of another life choice. Let's see. Should I invest or start a family? I'm gonna try to start a family. I got me a wife, got to get me some children. Or at least attempt. Oh, we're definitely going on a road trip. Nothing better than a road trip to, you know, get things a little hot and heavy while we're trying for a child. Need to be relaxed. Oh, I hate those days. I hate those days. You know, they pop up more often than they really should. But yeah, I hear ya. When you have those days where just nothing goes right, you just wanna go back to the start of the day and just hit reset. And unfortunately, we don't have that option. But I'm sorry to hear that. I know you say don't be sorry, but I like when people got good stories to tell. Sometimes, you know, the weight of the world is a little too ridiculous, and sometimes I'm just like, dude, just back the hell off. Let us just do our thing. Oh, lucky. Just landed on a salary. Meaning that didn't have to pay anything else. I still can't believe Maddie, the pumpkin farmer, has the most money in this game so far. Oh, not now. You gotta pay some pumpkin farming taxes, bitch. And I would review it, Danger Ranger. Thank you for the shameless plug. I appreciate that. Oh, I wish it would hurry up and get to my 3rd season. I'm ready for more episodes to come out and to do. Oh yes, I landed on the child. Okay, so should I get a child or should I get a pet? Let's get a bebe. What'd we get? What'd we get? Oh, we got a bouncing baby boy. Oh, he's so cute. Now I gotta get a bigger vehicle because this motorcycle's not safety rated for children. Yeah, we get the Dragula. Oh, thank you for the 50,000. I know Alice is the most in debt, but I'll still take her money. That's how it goes, though, isn't it? You trade in when you have your kids, you gotta trade in your bikes for something that's a little more safety rated. I still can't believe the two lowest paying jobs of the group are the highest money. The hollow treehouse, that's adorable. Oh, that is tasty, tasty. Bum ba-dum bum. What you gotta do, Maddie? Family or investment? Well, you know, and that's kind of how it is, you know, and that's why I'm always shocked that so many people are like, they barely get out of high school and immediately they start a family. You know, they immediately find someone, get married, start pumping out kids, and I'm like, dude, you have plenty of time. Just slow down, enjoy some life before those kids come in, because when the kids come in, nothing you want matters. And I'm sorry to say that, but there's too many people. Oh, I landed on Fate. And in Fate, debt is the biggest slice of the pie. Oh, I get another kid. This time I'm going to go for a pet. What do we get? Oh, we got a puppy dog. We got a puppy dog. But the thing that always drives me crazy is people think that they have to just go right out and immediately start a family. It's like, if you're dating with someone and everything, that's fine. You don't have to rush out and get married right away. Just live with each other for a while, you know? And don't worry about having kids right away. You still got many years of fertility. Trust me. But the thing is you got to get your own life. You've been in high school you've been in school for the first 18 years. You haven't had anything of your own. And about the time you get out on your own, you immediately pass that torch over to the kids. And what gets me is all the people that I know who did that all complain that, oh, I wish that I had done this. I wish I had done that. And I'm like, no. You don't get to do that anymore. You made your choice and you chose to immediately start your family. And you shamed me for not having any kids of my own. You know, me being as old as I am and not having any kids. You all piled on top of my ass. And now that I'm living in a place where I can go to the beach and I can go on vacations and I can plan trips to Japan, and you're all like, well, I wish I could, but my kids are all in dance. No. You don't get to do that. You made your choice, and you deal with the choice. You don't shit on me for being a bachelor my entire damn life, and then you get to shit on me because I am doing some vacations instead of having kids. You don't get to do that. You had your choice, you made your choice, and I get so tired of people who do that. And it's like, no one forced you to get married and have kids the minute you get your diploma. And there's so many people in my small town community who all do that, and every single one of them, skip ahead 10 years, all say the same thing. Well, I wish I could go on a vacation, but I got the kid's dental appointment. You made your choice. And, you know, and to be honest, I get tired of people making me feel like shit for not having kids, and then they want to turn over and act like them having kids is a problem. No. You can't shit on me for not doing it and then jump onto the bandwagon later on. I get so sick of that. You made your choice. Be happy with your choices. But when you choose kids, it's no longer about you. It's about the kid. And if you didn't know that before going in, that's your fault for not paying attention to it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's so stupid. You know why? They all screwed up. They hate seeing you happy, and they want you dragged down into the miserable mire that they're in. You know, everybody has their own path. None of it is right, wrong, or indifferent. It's what you want. And if you don't want kids, if you don't want to get married, then no one should force you to do that. And no one should make you feel bad for that either, you know? I still don't have kids, and to be perfectly honest, that clock is ticking, and I'm running short on time on that. Oh, God, why am I hitting taxes all the time? But to be perfectly honest, I'm still not sure if I even want kids. I kind of like the life that I've got. I busted my ass my entire adult life making absolutely nothing, and now that I'm in a place where I have some stuff to kind of enjoy, I want to be selfish about it. And why is it that if I choose not to have kids, I'm being selfish? Fuck you and your carbon footprint, you baby squirting pieces of shit. You know? Why is that? Why is that? My carbon footprint is so much smaller than a family that has 2 or 3 kids. Me and my wife together are much smaller than a married couple with 3 kids. But I'm selfish. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's not their decision, man. They shouldn't be pressuring you to get married just for the sake of getting married. You know, if you find someone, great. But if you don't, so what? That's life. It happens. Everybody's got a different path. But everybody always acts like their path is the right path. And it ain't. My parents are both, well, not anymore because my dad's dead, but both of my parents before my dad died, were both on marriage number 4. And it wasn't to each other. They were both on marriage number 3 in the 80s, back when divorce and, you know, single families were not the norm. Anyway, I don't mean to get on a rant or a tear or anything like that, but, you know, everybody always acts like there's only one path in life, and there really isn't. Well, you're going to regret it someday. No, I won't. Right, exactly. My parents being on marriage number 3 back in the early 80s was kind of unheard of. Not impossible, but a little unheard of. Then about the mid-90s, it seemed like everybody that I knew, suddenly their parents were getting divorced. And I'm just like, yeah, my parents just got divorced way early. Let's see, what do we want to do? Do we want to continue life or take an online course and get a better job? Well, being a witch has kind of worked out. Let's do an online course. We got a little bit of money. Oh, we're getting that higher education, going to university back in later in life. All right, so we were making 120. Ooh, a mad scientist. $200,000. Yes. And my lucky number is now 8. But yeah, it's you know, whatever your path is, you know, it's your path. And everybody should stop judging you for your path. You know, there were... See, exactly, yeah. You see so many friends married in a small town, yeah, and they made a mess of everything. Exactly. And that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, you made your choice, but you made a hasty choice because for some reason you caved to peer pressure, and then you got married immediately out of high school, and now you regret not having time for yourself. Well, I chose to have time for myself, and everybody makes me feel like I did the wrong thing. And I'm just like, I didn't find somebody until my, until I was in my 30s. And then I met someone, and she took me halfway around the world. I think waiting was the right decision. But everybody who was around me was all, well, when are you going to meet a girl? When are you going to settle down? When are you going to meet somebody? I don't fucking know. When it happens, it happens. I'd like it to happen sooner than later, but it happened when it happened. And when it did, you know. And here's the thing. Out of everybody in my family, I've got the best marriage. You know, everybody else just pisses and moans, or they're divorced. They're either unhappy or divorced. Because every time I see them at the holidays, all they do is they're just bitching about everything that they've got going on in their lives. And they don't even want to hear from me because I don't have kids, and that somehow devalues me. See, and that's just the thing. You have to find someone who meets your level of crazy. And for me, my wife was kind of that, you know. It's like, I might be a little loud and boisterous or anything, but she said that she likes that about me because I'm not an Aussie, you know. It's different than what she grew up with. You know, she's Australian, and she met a loud, brash, loudmouth American. But I make her laugh, and that's what's important. You know, oh, finally, I land on a house. Yes, we got 600,000. Let's buy a house. The witch's hut. Oh, the witch's hut comes with a cute little kitty cat. I already have a puppy, but let's get the house with the kitty cat. It's a big chunk of change, but I can possibly sell it for a nice little tidy profit. There you go. See, there for a while, I was the kick-ass uncle. I had some nieces and nephews, and when they were teenagers, you know, I'd take them out. We'd go shopping. We'd go see the movies. I'd get them out of the parents' hair and everything. And, you know, as teenagers, I was a young adult. I still was able to relate to them and everything. I loved taking my nephew out because he was such a smart kid, but he was a fun kid. He was a hip little kid, and he wasn't a brat. I always appreciated that about him. He was always a well-behaved kid. So I'd take him out and show him, you know, kind of a fun time, and we'd get into a little bit of trouble, but nothing major. So that was kind of what I was. I was like, let's go have some fun. Not get into too much trouble, but let's get into a little bit of trouble. And that was fun. And that's exactly what I thought, you know. She thinks I'm funny. I think she's funny. We have a lot of fun together. You know, and we still are debating on whether or not we're going to have kids. It's something that, you know, may or may not happen. If it doesn't happen, no big deal. If it does happen, no big deal. Oh, dang it, I was hoping for that one. Low numbers. I just like low numbers. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm at the stop anyway. But yeah, it's just, you know, my entire young adult life, everybody was, you know, making me feel guilty because of stuff that was outside of my control. You know, well, why don't you meet somebody? Why don't you settle down? You say that like it's so fucking easy. You know, I'm sorry I'm not like my older brother and I'm willing to go out with any bar skank that I come across. You know, and I'm sorry I'm not like my brother and I knocked up a girl in high school. You know, why doesn't he get shit for that? I didn't. I was smart enough to avoid getting in trouble like that. But I don't get any credit for that. I tell you, the older I get, the more I realize how trailer trash my family is. Well, yeah, sure, the bar skanks need love, but they can get it from the male bar skanks. They don't need to get it from me. And that was always my problem, was I had high standards. You know, I wouldn't just go out and hook up. I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's see. Do we want to take the risky path or the... Let's take the risky path. Why the hell not? You know, and you know, and I don't want to say that like I'm making people feel inferior for themselves, but when you're, you know, there's a certain class of people that you don't want to lock in with. You know, there's a certain class of people who just don't want to do anything in life. And my brother found every single one of them. Two of my brothers, actually. My youngest brother's the only one who's not married in the family, and he's perfectly happy not being married. He just went to Disney World a couple weeks back, didn't tell anybody, just left. Why? Because he's dating a pilot who gets to fly anywhere and take guests for very cheap. And I'm like, that's how you do it. And he's very happy with that person. Okay, so let's see what our fate is. Oh, action spot. Play the lottery. Oh, I'm going to sell my house. Because what happens is if you buy a house and you make it to retirement, you get to sell it, but you only get one attempt to sell. If you sell it before you retire, you get multiple chances. I'll show you what I mean. So my house... The maximum price is $900,000. I paid $450,000, but there's 6 envelopes that you get to choose from for your price. If you retire with a house, you only get to pick 1 envelope. But if you sell before you retire, you get 3 choices. Okay, so we get 3 chances to get the highest price. But it's one of those, if you don't take the price and you get lower, you're kind of stuck with it. So it's either you take the price or you trade it in for another guest. So let's try this one. 504, I think we can do better. 548, I still think we can do better because the maximum price is 900. Danger Ranger, which unopened envelope should I pick? I'm going to let you take the last pick. Should I do the top 1 or top 2 or the bottom 1 or bottom 2? The maximum price is 900. Top, this one right here, the one that's highlighted. Yes, sir. All right. Okay, well, you didn't get the best price, but you got the second best price, so that works for me. I would have liked the 900,000, but I wasn't going for that one myself. So you actually did better because I was actually about to go for one of the bottom ones, which was 500,000. So what did we get? A profit of 186,000. So, yeah, not the best choice, but the second best. Oh, oh, oh. Clinky, clinky. But yeah, you know, you were talking story of my life and everything. It's like, well, yeah, your life is a different story. Top middle. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I thought. I just wanted to make certain. A little bit of follower interactivity. But you know, like I always had the philosophy when I was a younger man that every time I tried to make a decision in life, or anytime I made plans in life, it never came through. I know I can't monetize exactly because since I'm international, I have to pay taxes in 2 countries. I'm trying to work on alleviating that. But trust me, I would love to get monetized, but because Twitch goes through like Amazon, it specifically is asking me if I'm an American citizen, and if I do, I gotta pay taxes there, and I'm pretty sure I gotta pay taxes in Australia too. So I'm trying to figure out a workaround, but I haven't exactly gotten in with the right tax professionals yet. You know, the tax people, they're all, the last thing they know is international law. There's like, most of the people who are Australian taxes, their, you know, mainstay is Australian taxes. International taxes, not exactly as easy to follow. So, y'all trust me, I've already made it to the levels that I need to monetize. I'm already affiliate level. I've been affiliate for a while. I can't go that way if I'm gonna get double taxed. You know what I mean? It's very weird when you're international. If I was just an Australian, I'd be all for it and it wouldn't bother me at all. Okay, let's see what our fate is here. Okay, we get an action spot. Just as long as I don't land on taxes. Oh, we'll take a guided tour. That's free. Trust me, it is very messed up. And, you know, I think it sucks that, you know, I don't live, I don't work, I don't have any ties other than my citizenship to that country. And they still think that they have any claim to anything I do. Yeah, exactly. World Wide Web. Yeah, but you're anchored in whatever country you were born in. I don't want to say I want to renounce my citizenship, but, you know, I am working on becoming an Australian citizen. I wouldn't mind being a dual citizen, but if I have to, but I'm not leaving this country. You know, where I am, I'm not moving back to America. I've already made that decision. If they think that they have any claim to anything that I have, and I have to pay taxes for that, no, I'll renounce my citizenship. It's that simple. You have no claim to it. Just because I was born there doesn't mean anything. You know, when my wife was working in America, Australia never attempted once to take a dime off of her paychecks. There's still some that say that I'm supposed to be filing taxes back in the States for working an Australian job. And I'm like, for what? What did my taxes in America, why, you know, my taxes that I pay in Australia go to Australian, you know, systems, you know, healthcare and you know, the roads and bridges. They should. They're the ones I'm using. The schools. That's where the taxes should go. Why should the United States get my Australian money? I don't see any reason why they should. Let's have a family movie night. That gets me another heart. I'm getting a lot of life experience in this one. I don't have the piggy banks specifically, but oh, I'm glad I got that movie night because Alice has got a lot of hearts. Yeah, well, see, when I was actually working on getting my not my citizenship, but when I was getting tax without representation, exactly, it is. Well, you know, taxation without representation. If you can't vote, you know, if you're a 16-year-old working in working at a McDonald's, I don't think you should have to pay taxes. Why? Because you can't vote. That's literally taxation without representation. If you're a 16-year-old working, you should get untaxed for 2 years. You should not have to pay any fucking taxes. I think that is a huge scam for any kid that is 16 years old. And of course, you know, how much money are you getting? It doesn't matter. More. That's all they ever want. It's never fucking enough. And it never goes to what you need it. It just goes to pay off the people who work 5 days out of the fucking year. And then they get all their kickbacks from the NRA so that they don't ever have to do anything for the rest of the fucking year. In 1 month, they get paid off. It's a thought that I had, but when I was actually saying this before, but when I was looking up, you know, information on how to get my visa and how to become an Australian citizen and go through that whole process, I kept running across stories about people who had no choice but to renounce their citizenship because the tax office would not leave them alone. I just kept running into these stories of people who had, because it was one of those things where they couldn't do it over the phone, they couldn't do it over the internet. They literally had to take time off of their job in Australia, fly to America to get their taxes straightened out, and then they'd have to do it every single year. And finally, they got so fed up with the process that they just tearfully stood on the you know, the Capitol Hill steps and renounced their citizenship and just said, no, you don't have any claim to it, and I'm tired of fighting this every single year. You know, so far that hasn't happened to me, but I keep watching for it to happen. I have no allegiance to any country. When I lived and worked in America, I was fine living and working in America, but that was it. You know, they made me stand up and, you know, say the Pledge of Allegiance every single damn day, and it never took. It was always one of those things that I thought was ridiculous, silly, you know. I was never one of those for blind patriotism, you know. And what did it get me? It got me massive medical bills for absolutely no reason, and garnishing my wages every single month because I had to have insurance just to see a doctor. I don't owe allegiance to that, you know? I'm supposed to keep paying taxes so that they can have the world's largest military by, you know, 20% by 20 times what the next country spends. You know, I don't mean to go off on a political rant or anything, but, you know, it's like I don't have allegiance to one country over another. You know, why? Because I was born there and America is the greatest country in the world. No, it really isn't. Not to me. I don't mean to be like that, but that flag should mean a lot more than what it is. You know, every person who wears that flag lapel pin is the first person to wipe their ass with it. You know, you have a country where nobody can afford to go to the doctor. You have a country where nobody can afford health insurance, but they have to have it or they can't get anywhere with the doctor. You know, you have a country where nobody can get a decent paycheck because nobody's allowed to get into any unions. You know, we've got union busters, we've got taxes, we've got medical bills that are out the ass. You know, we have medicines in America that cost 20 times what they cost in any other developed nation. You know? At what point what does your allegiance mean? You know? And it's like, if you want to pledge allegiance, that's on you. But when it's a forced idea that you have to pledge allegiance to your flag, well, give me a reason to. What is it America does better than any other country? Incarceration, military spending, and what was the third one? And gun violence. That's it. No. When my opportunity to leave came up, I took it. And I have no qualms about that. I feel sorry for people who wish that they could do the same, but they can't. And it's unfortunate, you know? There's too many people in the country who think America's the greatest country that ever is and ever will be. No, it ain't. It is actually getting very far down on that list of a lot of things. I mean, for Christ's sake, you know, just take a look at how the world fares with infant mortality rates. A first world nation can't keep the fucking babies alive better than any other country. You know? My allegiance to a flag doesn't change that. And I don't feel like I need to pledge allegiance to a country that can't take care of its most vulnerable citizens. So, yeah, I don't pledge allegiance to the flag. They did it. I had to do it every single day, all the way through, 12th grade, all the way for my first 18 years. But it's how I feel. You know, and a lot of people have called me a traitor. A lot of people have called me, a false American. I don't care. I'm living in a country that is proof that if they really wanted to do it, they could do it. Where I live, I don't pay to go to the doctor. I go to the doctor, I don't get a bill. I've been to the doctor more times in the 3 years that I've been here than the last 10 years in the States. In the States, I ended up with several $1,000s worth of bills for single visits. Here, I've been to the doctor more times. I haven't paid a penny for any of it. I've got a job, and I don't pay more in taxes than I ever did in the States. I'm actually getting paid a living wage. What I'm getting paid now is what everybody wants to get paid in the States. You know, everybody's fighting for what I'm getting paid, you know, once you get the dollar translations and everything. But that's, you know, like I said, that flag should, I agree with you, the flag should mean something, but it don't. The flag is just wave it in everybody's face and distract from the fact that we ain't doing shit to help our people, and we're just getting job after job after job, and just our entire job is campaigning. All the representatives, that's all they ever do, is they get the job and immediately start campaigning. Like, look at fucking Abbott right now. Fucking Abbott is standing on that fucking thing trying to say what a tragedy it was for that school shooting, and is immediately going to meet with his NRA ass kissers. Immediately. Can't even finish the statement before everyone else is already finding out him just going to his NRA ass lickers. Well, it's my channel, so that's the thing. I don't, you know, Abbott can't even keep the damn power on in his country, and that's supposed to be something that you salute? No. That is ridiculous. And I'm not going to apologize for that. A first world state that has to tell its citizens to turn the air conditioners down because we don't have the power capacity to keep the lights on. We have a freak snowstorm a couple years ago. Children died. And we're just blindly supposed to salute that. Fuck that. No. That is not how it works. They work for us, not the other way around. And there's too goddamn many of them. They died for your right for what? Who died? Who died for your right? The people who voluntarily went into the military to go fight for oil prices? They didn't die for your right to salute the flag. They died for their right to go to college. Because they can't afford to go to college. Because that's another thing you can't afford to do when you're in the country. When you can't pay for college, you go to the military. You think that's a mistake? You don't think that that's part of the system? They only do that because they know that if they ever put in the draft, that would be the last thing that that person ever did in the world of politics. So what do? They make it so that you can pretend to go to college. But you're still going to go into debt going to college because it's a financial scam too. Do you have any idea how much it costs to go to school here? When I, just for things like Votech, I wanted to, before I left the States, I wanted to go into a career change, and I wanted to go in for, HVAC. I wanted to maybe take a look at HVAC and see if that was something that I might be able to do. I couldn't afford to go there because of how expensive the courses were. I looked it up online to see what it was going to cost me if I went to Australia, because I was like, I'd like to have a trade that might help me through my visa process, having something to to bring to the country. It's like I can work air conditioning. When I came down here, it was literally 100 times less to go for the exact same courses. Because it's not a scam here. It's not a scam to go to college and get post-high school education. And that's the way it should be. People should be able to get that. Dude, don't bring the lizard people in. That's the fucking... It is not a conspiracy to look at the number of people who are going into college and cannot get out from underneath of the debt because of how bad the percentage is every time that it compounds on the interest. That is a fact that there are people... That is why everybody's fighting to get rid of the student debt. You know, if you want to talk lizard people and tinfoil hats, then there's nothing you're bringing to the table. I'm talking actual factual things that you can see in everything. When people are trying to go to school because they can't afford to live off of, regular wages, they get told that, oh, you have to go to college so that you can get a better paying job. And then when you get a better paying job, well, sorry, the economy sucks, so we're going to make sure that you have to pay, an amazing amount of fucking interest on this amount of money that you had to just put down for school. There is no part of that I need to salute. It's a failure. From beginning to end, it is a failed state, and the only reason that it sticks around like it is because they spend all the money on the military so that they can bully everybody else in the world. If that military wasn't there, you guarantee it, China would be marching over your asses without a second fucking thought. That's the only reason anybody respects the country, is because they're afraid of the biggest guns on the block by far. But if we took 1% of the military budget, we could do something else with it. But we won't, because everybody's got to wet their beak. Everybody's got to get their kickbacks. Everybody's got to get a little piece of that military-industrial complex that all the way back Eisenhower was warning us about. All right, so who do we got this time? We got Luke, Maddie, and Isaac. Yeah, I think that looks all right. As long as I got my color purple. You just read me taking out the trash. Oh, Danger Ranger 90 is banned from the show because he decided to go racist. can't handle the fact that I'm not a boot-licking American who just won't look at the American system and realize that nothing needs changed and nothing needs to be fixed, and that I should just salute my superiors and suckle at Trump's asshole. And then immediately went to racism, so I booted his ass. I don't put up with that. So for anyone else who's watching, Brett, now that I got someone else here, just know I don't tolerate it. It's right down in my profile. I don't put up with racism. I don't put up with homophobia. I don't put up with transphobia or any hate speech. You want to pull that shit, you're gone. And I don't give a shit. And if you don't like what I have to say, exactly. No, you didn't. I'm just all fired up because I'm talking things that I believe, and then, someone who can't argue against it because I'm making too much sense immediately goes to the racism. And I'm like, no, I don't put up with that. But how are you, Brett? Let's start a new page here. How are you doing today, Brett? Are you feeling better? Are you feeling better today? I know you were feeling kind of rough the other day. I hope you're feeling better. Good. Is it just the mental health issues? Taking a mental health day. I think the last time we talked, you said you hadn't been outside for a couple of days, been kind of just homebound for a while. Has that gotten better? Oh, okay. Hey, that's totally on you. I'm not saying one way or another. It's like you're free to deal with it, whatever. But oh, good. Did you do anything? Did you do anything fun, or did you just get outside? Let's see. Last time I went to college, and that seemed to work out for me. I'm gonna go to college again. Start off with a $100,000 debt. Hey, you know what? Little steps. That's how it goes. A little bit here, a little bit there, and you'll get back. How did you feel? How did you feel going out? I keep forgetting to hit fast forward when it's the computer's turn. Once my turn's over, there's no reason. There you go. Start getting back to that sense of normalcy. Don't take too big of a step, but yeah. Let me tell you, we've been in lockdown so many times and everything, and because of it, we really were eating into our savings, because with COVID and everything, it was really hard getting out to try and get a job and everything, and that's why when I got employed, I told my wife, I said, when my first main paycheck comes in, we're going out to dinner at a sit-down restaurant, and it was nice. I mean, it's expensive going out to that sort of stuff, but it was a nice evening. I liked doing that, and I told my wife we need to do that more often. There's just that sense of there's activity going on. Activity, there's people gathering and all that, and it's nice seeing that. There for a while, people were talking about, there might be another wave of COVID kind of starting up here and there, and I was like, oh man, just about the time that we're getting comfortable with getting back out and everything, but it never really hit like they were worried it was going to. Wow, I did not get the choice jobs like I did last time. Last time I got 120,000. I guess we'll be a monster herder, or whatever that is. 90K salary, 70K in taxes. Oh, I forget. Got to roll again, or spin again. Low numbers. Yeah, I guess a 6. Now, me personally, I've never been much of a bar person. Oh. Let's try a new job. I think we're at the, kind of the low end. Okay, so we got the education. There we go. Get the witch salary, 120. So, but yeah, I never was much of a bar goer. In my younger adult days, I wasn't much of a drinker, and I didn't have that much of a social scene. So a lot of people would go to the bar, and I would kind of go there, maybe get something to eat. Usually they'd have a kitchen or something, and it was, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. Most of where I grew up, most of the bars were sports bars, and I was never much of a sports fan. Or they were just, standard bars. Nothing really, no major flair or anything. And, me, I was one of those persons who I wasn't really much of a, I wasn't much of a drinker, and I did not make a lot of money. And I kept looking at the prices at the drinks at the bar, and I was like, my God, I could buy bottles of alcohol for this. So I never really got into the bar scene. However, in my late 20s, some friends of mine, I was able to reconnect with some friends, and they were part of the club scene. So I would end up going to, like the dance clubs and things. Usually there'd be live music or a DJ or something, and I was like, I can kind of get behind a little bit of that, because at least I'm there kind of dancing, visiting with friends, hanging out. there was a bit of a scene there that I didn't have at like the sports bar. And maybe that was the difference, is if I had more, friends with sports, or had more interest in sports, it might have been a little better thing. But the one bar that there was a couple bars that me and my clubbing friends would go to, and one of them had this 80s theme night, and what they would do is they would take 80s songs, and they'd mix them to have kind of a bit of a, techno beat sort of a thing. So it was a bit more of a dance party, modern sounding, but with 80s songs. So, you'd get like Tommy Two-Tone, you'd get the Thompson Twins, all that stuff from the 80s. And what I liked was they always had like a giant screen up where they were not broadcasting, but they had a projector up, so they were always playing 80s movies. Usually it was something like The Breakfast Club or Ghostbusters, the hits. And it was a fun little scene. But oh man, everybody's getting married and they're just draining my wallet. But yeah, that was most of what I was doing when I'd go out to the bar or anything. Here, there's a lot of pub options, but they're more like, like the standard pubs. A lot of people in this area in Australia, they go to the bowling clubs. I guess lawn bowling is a pretty big deal among some of them, but it's more for the older crowd. Every time I pass by, it's usually the senior citizens, people a little bit older than me. Let's see. I think this time I'm gonna... You know what? Let's get married. We've got a lot of education, but we don't have a lot of heart. We really need to get some heart. Oh, let's buy a giant TV. Let's be silly. Let's spend money we probably shouldn't to get get a big TV. So yeah, but that's how my young adult years were really spent. Most of it was just kind of up, work, home, TV, bed, up, work, home, TV, bed. That's and one thing I was talking about earlier was talking about families and people who have families and they just get out and have kids right away. You know, a lot of times I talk to them and they come back and they're like, well, I wish that I had waited and had myself a little bit of, you know, me time instead of just going right into the family mode. You know, I always thought like that. It's like, you know, I'd like some me time, and unfortunately, because I worked at a, you know, rinky-dink little radio station, I didn't have the greatest pay, and most of it went to went to the bills and everything. But when I finally got out, you know, I'm kind of doing what I'm wanting to do right now. You know, I've got a little bit of disposable income. I'm in a beachy area where there's a lot of things to do, and I just feel like that's, you know, I'm now where I should have been, you know, like a decade or 15 years ago. Let's go with a non-binary partner. I guess partner would be the right word here. Not wife or spouse or husband. Not spouse, I think, would still be alright. I think the game is really neat that they get the inclusion that they do. Because originally the Game of Life, they just had the little pink characters and the little blue characters. So you had male, female, and now they got purple. Which, you know, it's a little thing, but to people who are represented by that, it's a big thing. That's why I think it's so funny when video game fans always bitch about politics and stuff in their games, and I'm just like, well, why'd you have to make it political? No one's making it political. It's a character. Some of the things that people get worked up over, it's like, oh, there's so many actual problems in the world. This one isn't one of them. Once again, the trick-or-treater is has a better wallet than I do as a witch. I have a much higher salary. Oh, I guess not. I guess I made a little bit of money after that last round. There's a lot of details I'm not paying attention to because I'm just running my mouth tonight. Man, the taxes hit the pumpkin farmer. I've never actually seen, like, the maximum number of kids that you can have. I think the most that I've had in this one is 3 or 4. But I was just watching the hovercraft, and I noticed that they have, like, 2 rows of empty seats. And I'm like, how many seats are they allotting for? Like if you were to hit a kid every single time that the chance would come up, how full could that vehicle get? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm only 1 roll away. Okay, I think this time... I grew my family last time. This time I'm going to go for the investments. Try to get some property. Alright, low numbers, low numbers, low numbers. Alright, well, it's not taxes. But it's not property either. Well, let's take a master sushi class. I actually think that I do pretty good making sushi. Self-taught. I never took a course. I never deal with anything raw, though, so yeah. Mostly I'm just making, like, California rolls. But I make a pretty good onigiri. I was actually very impressed, and I've told this story before, but I'm very impressed when because I had been making what I assumed was correct onigiri for years. And if you're not sure, onigiri is a Japanese rice ball that usually has a filling. It has a little bit of seaweed paper wrapped around it, nori. so that you can handle it without your hands touching the sticky rice. And it's usually a pretty dense snack. One or two of them is usually enough for a good lunch. But what I do is I put in the middle of it, when I'm forming the rice ball, I usually put like a tuna mayonnaise or a crab stick mayonnaise sort of thing. Put that in the center and sprinkle it with some furikake, which is a rice seasoning. It's usually got like fish flakes in it. Really good stuff. But I just kind of make it and just kind of experimented with some other stuff, tried some different things. And years ago I was, maybe it was last year or 2 years ago, I happened to pass by a food court where there was a Japanese restaurant. And they had, what's spin for the highest number? Okay, 5 is the highest. All right, now we want the high numbers. 9's okay. I think 9's tough to beat, but I'll at least get 80,000. There we go. So when I went to the food court, there was a Japanese restaurant there, and they had onigiri, and I bought one, and it was like $3 for it, and when I tried it, it tasted exactly like what I had been making for years, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm making authentic, not knowing anything. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got like 5 more seats, so I wonder if they're planning on having, a maximum of like 6 individual kids, because you got the 2 seats in front for the adults, and then in the back for all the kids and pets. Big numbers. Now I'm going to pass by all the houses. There they go. Right to the stop. If I could make one change to this game, it would be to reduce the spinner by half. Like the highest number that you could hit is 5. Because when you hit those high numbers, you just end up passing by so much stuff. Let's continue life. Instead of going to college or going back to school for more education. I've already got a pretty decent job. I don't need too much more. What I need is life experience. Alright, we got Fate. Fate stepping in. Spin of the wheel. What's the deal? Taxes. It's the biggest slice on the pie. That's okay. That's okay. I had a decent amount sitting in the kitty. $200,000 in a board game battle? I don't think I've ever... Oh, that actually reminds me. We're talking about bars and everything. Right before I left the States to come to Australia, I actually found a board game bar, and I never got a chance to get into it. Low numbers, dang it. Oh, I got the last this time, and I never got a chance to enjoy it. And it was like, when I found it, it was kind of a new business, and I actually had a chance to step inside. It was in the afternoon, and the owner was there working the bar, and this was in like the early part of the afternoon. They had opened up, and there were a few. What it was they just had tables all over the place, and they had a wall that was just full of shelves of board games. And I was like, I think I could get into a bar like this. So I got talking to the owner who was working that day, and I was just talking to him about this. It was a real slow day. There was only a couple of customers. And I thought it was really nice to, chat with this person and find out what's going on with this whole thing. And it's like, it doesn't cost anything to sit down at the table. But during the busy hours, there is a cover charge for getting into the business. It's like $2, but it's all night long if you want to play board games. And they have tournaments every day of the week except for Sunday, and they would have different theme nights. Like some days they'd be playing like Settlers of Catan. Other days they'd be playing Dungeons and Dragons. And, you know, they'd have special guests that would come in and kind of facilitate that and make sure everybody was on the right path. And, you know, in case there was someone who didn't have, like, a group already. And I thought that was such a cool idea. But unfortunately, I just, I never had the option to get there because it was about an hour away from where I lived. And I never got a chance to really take part in it. They had one. It was a New Year's Eve celebration, and they were selling tickets because they only had a limited number of spots. And I wanted so bad to go there, and ring in the new year in this group. Try to maybe meet some people with some like-minded, you know, ideas and everything. Because it's like, you know, I love board games, and it's so hard for me to get people to want to play any with me. It's easier to get them to play something like this, but if I wanted to play like the actual game of life or something like that, oh boy, it's tough getting anybody involved. And I don't know why that is. I think board games are a lot of fun. My favorite board game of all time is Risk. Let's throw a barbecue. I got in with a group of Risk players when I was in college, and we would have games that would take days. Not because we were spending a lot of time, like all day or anything like that, but it was because we all had class, and we would just come together when we were all free, play, and then when one of us had to leave, we would just take a time out. And they were so honest. Nobody cheated. Nobody moved the pieces or anything around like that. And it was a great group of guys, and they just taught me how to play this game, and I just immediately developed a love for it. And I've always had tried having a version of Risk, and my God, getting people to play Risk with you is like pulling teeth. You know, you might be able to get them to do it once, but I was never able to get them to do it a second time. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it can be a slow game, but, you know, when it's like, you just gather together, everybody get some, you know, get your drinks, bring your own beer or whatever, and, you know, we'll bring some snacks, and we just make an evening of it. Turn on some music, hang out, and just have some fun with, and it's one of those things that it's like, it's a social event. You know, you're not there to play the game, you're there for the social event. So, yeah. That was always my favorite, but again, you know, if nobody wants to join in with the group, you know, as the board game just sits on the shelf and collects dust. And it's very sad. The dogs are asleep. Oh, did you hear me talking about you? Waffles is laying on the carpet and laying down facing me, but his eyes are closed, and as soon as he hears me say dog, he opens his eyes like, what? Huh? What? Bank is giving me a bonus? Okay, I'll take it. You know, this match is a little bit more even-kiltered. Everybody, it doesn't seem like anybody's got any major debt, from what I'm seeing. Nobody owns more than a single bonus. Oh, Luke's selling his property. Oh, dang it! They got the top dollar. 160,000 profit. Oh, I forgot to look. I was so big. There's so much that's going on this board. I was looking at the board, and I forgot to look at the list of everybody all together so I could see how everybody's kind of stacking up. Because I know we're getting close. Okay, yeah, we're getting really close to everybody retiring at about the same time. So retirement's not going to be a very busy thing. Sometimes if there's someone trailing behind and everybody gets done with retirement, there's this period where you can keep on rolling either for money or for experiences. Man, max sell 800,000. Oh, they only got 527. Ah, that's still... Oh, Isaac does have some debt. Okay. So Isaac's going for the bucket list to try and get some more life experience as opposed to money. Oh, didn't get one. Alright. Boy, if I could get a couple more hearts, I think I'd be in pretty good shape. Oh, I'm the one pulling up the rear. Okay, everyone else is already up there. I'm the one lagging behind. Because one is already one step away from retirement, and the other one's right there. So yeah, I didn't realize I was at the end. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Let's go... Oh, let's go risky. What's the point? We got all this way and nothing's really happened. I don't have any kids. Did I get married? Yes, I got married, but I don't have any kids. Let's go risky and see if we can get some something in the late. Keep it low. Keep low numbers. Keep low numbers. Yeah, 6. Oh, it's taxes. Dang it. That hurts. But it's not that bad. If I had two of those crowns, that would probably be less. Oh my God, Luke's got $1 million. How did Luke get $1 million? And he's the second to retire. Man, I don't know. I think Luke might at least be in the top 2. Because he's got the money crown. Yeah, the millionaire's got the money crown. Okay. Oh, dang it! It took it away right before I could study it. Ah, screw it. We'll see what happens at the very end, and that's all. All right, I'm the only one who hasn't reached retirement, but I could probably do it in a couple of turns. If I could get some hearts, I could probably get a crown. Because there's only a couple of hearts. The person who has the heart crown only has a couple. Yeah, just 2. So 3 hearts. And I don't even know how many I have. Oh, dang it, they just got another one. Yeah, I have 2. Okay, so if I could get 2 hearts. Nope, that's retirement. Oh no, one more turn. Oh, let's get a snail farm. That won't get us the crown, but we might get lucky at the very end. That at least gets us within striking distance of taking it away from Luke. But if he gets a piggy here, it's all over. Oh, he went for the pension. He didn't go for the bucket list. So if I roll to retirement and choose the bucket list, and I'm given 1 piggy, I might be able to take a second crown. This is where it gets kind of hectic. Yeah, one piggy will get it. It doesn't matter what I roll; it's over. The most I could do is land on my own spot and get that little monetary bonus. All right, 100,000 for finishing last. All right, let's Yeah, let's go for that bucket list. Now we have to roll, I think we have to roll black. Red won't get us anything, but black will give us a chance, yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, dang it, we get nothing. And that's the game. That was my one chance to get that second bonus crown. Alright, we'll see how it ended up. Oof, jeez. Luke had almost twice as much points just for money alone. Shoot, I think Luke's got it because he's got that bonus, and that one just got me within sniffing distance. Wow. Oh man, I didn't even take second place. Nope, Isaac's loans knocked him down. If Isaac hadn't had those loans, I would have taken third place. That's funny. Alrighty. Well, that was 2 games right there. I'm actually going to call this one a little early, mostly because I do have to go to work tomorrow. So I like to, if I have a work shift, I like to get finished up a little bit earlier than that. So for everybody else who's watching, I do apologize for the ruckus earlier. It's one of the problems of having, random people online. They're such keyboard warriors and they think they're such hot shit and everything. I'm like, no, I don't apologize for my political beliefs. If you don't like them, you don't have to sit here and watch it. Just leave. But don't resort to racism like a Neanderthal. You're nothing. You are a carbon copy. It's nothing to be proud of. So, I could make some comments myself. I'm not going to. But at the end of the day, no, I don't apologize. I left America for a reason, and I had several reasons. A lot of them. And no, I don't see anything changing. If anything, there has not been a day that I've left that America has proven to me that I made a mistake. I'd be happy if they did. But there's some people in this world who think that because you were born there, you owe your allegiance to that, and they don't owe you anything. No, that's not how it works. The government works for you as a citizen. They are there to make sure you are taken care of. And if you're so brainwashed to think that that's not how it should work, you're a lost cause, and I don't care to even bother with you. That's just how it is, And if you want to live in a state that can't even keep the electricity on when a freak snowstorm comes up, I don't know what your patriotism means. It means nothing to me. That's the bottom line. You can be as patriotic as you want, but when your elected leaders want to run to Cancun while people are dying, what are we arguing about? Is that okay to you? It's not okay to me. I don't think it's okay that kids die in school. I don't think any of that's okay. And that's one of my reasons why I left. Where I live, kids do not get shot in school. That's a national embarrassment. And all the flag saluting in the world won't change that. My biggest complaint that I have against the patriotic American is you're not allowed to say anything that is critical of that country, because America does everything right and is not wrong in anything. No, America is falling behind in a lot of things. And your patriotism, your blind loyalty to that, does not change it. It only enforces it. Because you keep electing the people who aren't doing the work that is supposed to be fixing it and making it better. That's what, to me, that's what blind patriotism is. It's you see a burning fire, a burning house fire, and you tell the firefighters, we don't need you. We're doing fine with the system as is. Now me, I'm a patriot who wants to see the country do better. But I'm also a realist that sees that it's not going to. What just happened in Texas isn't going to change anything, and that's why I left. I had an option to exercise and go to a country that figured this shit out decades ago. Where I live, kids don't die in school. It's pretty fucking simple. It's a failure, and I'm not going to apologize because I say so. America should be better. It should be. I'd be very happy to see it, but it ain't. And all the lapel pins and all the flag pins and all the I pledge allegiance to this failed state, it don't mean anything. If you can't take care of your most vulnerable citizens, and there are too many who have no interest in doing so. But because I get to keep my guns, they keep getting voted in. Oh, the Democrats are going to take guns, going to make sure you can't do anything. Shut the fuck up. Every single one of you run into the NRA. The blood is on your hands, and I'm sick of people pretending that it's anything. Oh, this ain't the time to make this political. Really? Because every single one of your assholes is doing a political ad for campaigning, shooting fucking guns. You politicized it. Kids dying, it shouldn't be a political issue. It should be a pretty straightforward issue. But someone decided, nope, we'd rather this just be something. Oh, we failed in protecting our kids while we're screaming pro-life. Yeah, I got off on a little bit of a tangent today, but people like that happened earlier, it just pisses me off. You see everything that's wrong and you think it's perfectly fine, and it's not. And that's what your job is to make sure that the people who aren't fixing the problems don't get reelected. But there's no part of that follows blind patriotism. Blind patriotism is nothing's wrong, and I don't want to hear anyone say anything's wrong. Like I said, as soon as they found out that what I think of the country immediately goes to racism. Because they can't argue. They can't argue against it. I want everybody to be taken care of. At the end of the day, that's what I want. I want people to be able to go to the doctor without it destroying their bank accounts. I want people to be able to go to the school, to be able to be safe. I want people to be able to go to college and make something of themselves, be able to afford, the nice things in life. I think that people who work every single day, 40 hours a week, I think that they should be able to take vacation and sick days. I guess I'm a radical. But where I'm at, it's kind of how it happens. You know why? Because everybody wants to go to the fucking beach. They know they can't have the workforce forcing everybody into work every single day without letting them chuck a sickie once in a while. I don't know. Anyway, I do apologize for getting political on this one, but I won't apologize for what I have to say. Again, it's my show. If you don't like it, no one's forcing you to stay here. You're free to change the channel. But at the end of the day, that's my core belief. I think that the government is there to take care of the citizens, not just Musk and Elon. Not just the richest 1 or 5%. There's a lot of people in the country, and a lot of people need a lot of support. And it's their job to do it, and I won't back away from that thought. Anyway, that's going to do it for this broadcast. So if I've alienated a bunch of you, that's fine. You don't have to come back. But I'll be back tomorrow evening, depending on how much work has kicked my ass. We'll see. But tomorrow is Friday, so we'll probably do Retro Friday. I feel like Retro Friday feels like the right move for tomorrow, so I think we'll probably go ahead and do that one. So until I greet you then, y'all have a great rest of the day, and we will catch you next time.